The topic of this presentation is neuromorphic computing or brain computer interface. A brain computer interface is often called as a mind machine interface, or sometimes it is called as a direct neural interface. In this particular presentation, there is a complete overview about BCI, its working, its advantages and disadvantages. The contents that comes under this topic are: first, introduction to BCI; second, block diagram of the BCI system; third, how the brain turns thoughts into action; fourth, BCI working; fifth, basic mechanism; sixth, classification of BCI; seventh, electroencephalography; eighth, magnetoencephalography; ninth, applications; 10th, advantages of BCI; 11th, disadvantages of BCI; and 12th, conclusion. Introduction. Basically, a brain computer interface is a technology which allows a human to control a computer, peripheral, or other electronic device with thought. A brain computer interface provides a new communication channel between the human brain and the computer. It does so by using electrodes to detect electric signals in the brain which are sent to a computer. The computer then translates these electric signals into data which is used to control a computer or a device linked to a computer. BCI can enable a person suffering from paralysis to write a book or control a motorized wheelchair or prosthetic limb through thought alone. Block diagram of a BCI system. The block diagram of a BCI system shows the steps that are involved in extracting the BCI application from the signals that are generated by our brain. It shows the signal acquisitions are converted into digitalized signal, and then features are extracted from it and then translated. Then the translated signals are used in the BCI application. Next part is how the brain turns thoughts into action. The brain is full of neurons. These neurons are connected to each other by axon and dendrites. Your neurons, as you think about anything or do anything, are at work. Your neurons connect with each other to form a superhighway for nerve impulses to travel from neuron to produce thought, hearing, speech, or movement. If you have an itch and you reach to scratch it, you received a stimulus, an itch, and reacted in response to the stimulus by scratching. The electrical signals that generated the thought and action travel at a rate of about 250 feet per second or faster in some cases. BCI working. The diagram here shows the exact working of a BCI system. Firstly, the signal from our brain is generated by using some of the methods like EEG, ECOG, LFP, and SU. Then these signals are processed by using some of the methods like autoregressive, wavelets, Laplacian filter, common spatial filter, and others. Then these processed signals are given to the effector devices like robotic arms, wheelchairs, cursors, spellers, and others. These diagrams represent the overall working of the BCI. Firstly, the signals are transmitted from the brain. Then by pre-processing enhancement, we extract features from them, and after extraction, we get translation algorithm. These translation signals are further used in visualization, sonification, audification, and in haptic and tactile stimulus, olfactory stimulus. In visualization, it used to process light, colors, images, videos, and motion, and in sonification and audification, it is used to process sounds and music, and in case of haptic and tactile stimulus, it is used to process vibration, TMC, etc. And at the end, signals are again transmitted to the brain as feedback. Interface. The easiest and the least invasive method is a set of electrodes. A device known as an electroencephalographer EEG attached to the scalp. The electrodes can read brain signals. To get a high resolution signal, scientists can implant electrodes directly into the gray matter of the brain itself or on the surface of the brain beneath the skull. Basic mechanism. The basic mechanism includes the following points. Wires from each electrodes transmit their measurement to a computer. The electrodes measure minute difference in the voltage between neurons. The signal is then amplified and filtered. The computer produces a graph showing the readings from each electrode. Classification of BCI. BCI is classified into different types. The different types of BCI are: first, invasive; second, partial invasive; third, non-invasive. Invasive include neurosurgery, partial invasive includes ECOG, and non-invasive includes EEG, MEG, and fMRI. Invasive BCIs. Invasive BCIs are implanted directly into the gray matter of the brain by neurosurgery. As they rest in the gray matter, invasive devices produce the highest quality signals of BCI devices, but are prone to scar tissues built up, causing the signal to become weaker or even lost as the body reacts to a foreign object in the brain. Partially invasive. It is another brain signal reading process which is applied to the inside the skull but outside the gray matter. Electrocorticography ECOG is the example of partial invasive BCI. An electrocorticograph ECOG records the activity of the brain inside the skull but from the surface of the membranes that protect it. An electrode grid is being implanted by surgical incision. Non-invasive. It is the most useful neuron signal imaging method, which is applied to the outside of the skull, just applied on the scalp. Techniques. First, electroencephalography EEG. Second, magnetoencephalography MEG. Third, functional magnetic resonance imaging fMRI. Now, the brief description about the different techniques of non invasive BCI. Electroencephalography EEG. In conventional scalp EEG, the recording is obtained by placing electrodes on the scalp with a conductive gel or paste, usually after preparing the scalp area by light abrasion to reduce impedance due to dead skin cells. Many systems typically use electrodes, each of which is attached to an individual wire. Magnetoencephalography MEG. MEG detects the tiny magnetic fields created as individual neurons fire within the brain. It can pinpoint the active region with a millimeter and can follow the movement of brain activity as it travels from region to region within the brain. Functional magnetic resonance imaging fMRI. It exploits the changes in the magnetic properties of hemoglobin as it carries oxygen. Activation of a part of the brain increases oxygen levels there, increasing the ratio of oxyhemoglobin to deoxyhemoglobin. Applications of BCI provide disabled people with communication, environment control, and movement restoration. Provide enhanced control of devices such as wheelchairs, vehicles, or assistance robots for people with disabilities. Provide additional channel of control in computer games. Monitor attention in long distance drivers or aircraft pilots. Send out alerts and warning for aircraft pilots. Develop intelligent relaxation devices. Advantages of BCI. There are many advantages of BCI. First, allow paralyzed people to control prosthetic limbs with their mind. Second, transmit visual images to the mind of a blind person, allowing them to see. Third, transmit auditory data to the mind of deaf person, allowing them to hear. Fourth, allow gamers to control video games with their minds. Fifth, allow a mute person to have their thoughts displayed and spoken by a computer. Disadvantages of BCI. There are many different disadvantages of BCI. First, research is still in the beginning stages. Second, the current technology is crude. Third, ethical issues may prevent its development. Fourth, electrodes outside of the skull can detect very few electric signals from the brain. Fifth, electrodes placed inside the skull create scar tissue in the brain. Conclusion. The ability of computers to enhance and augment both mental and physical abilities and potential is no longer the exclusive realm of science fiction writers. It is becoming a reality. Brain computer interface technology will help define the potential of the human race. It holds the promise of bringing sight to the blind, hearing to the deaf, and the return of normal functionality to the physically impaired. A miracle, hardly, but perhaps the next closest thing.